I have a question for you. Have you ever heard of Plarn? It's what this cute little purse is made out of. I'm Janelle from the Yarn Necklaces channel, and today I'm going to show you how to make Plarn, what Plarn is, and how to crochet this cute little purse. So Plarn is actually two words combined together, plastic and yarn, and you put those together and you get Plarn. So what Plarn is just basically plastic shopping bags like this. And they're cut into 1 to 1.5 inch strips like this. And then you can use this to crochet just like it was yarn. And you can make all types of things out of plastic bags. Rugs, purses, slippers, tote bags, baskets, anything you can imagine. And be sure to stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to show you the very first plastic tote bag I made, which was about 18 years ago. And I'll also show you the purse I carry around on an everyday basis that's made out of Subway restaurant bags. So now that you know what Plarn is, let me show you how you can make your very own Plarn and how to crochet this cute little purse. Before we get started, I just want to show you a few options for your purse. This one is about the size of a phone. You can easily stick a cell phone in here and a few other things that you need. If you want to make it a little bigger, we're going to start on the bottom here. We're going to do chains, so you can just chain a few more than what we're doing, and then it'll be a little bit wider this way. If you want to make it longer this way, then you just want to do more rows as we go up to the top. And this one has a Velcro close, so that's what I'm using to make the one we're making today. But you don't have to do Velcro. You can also do a button. On this one I did, it's actually a seashell, but you can use just a normal button and just sew it on there. And then when you get to the top part, you just crochet a chain and then single crochet over that, just for like I think 2 spaces, just 2 of the single crochets. And I'll show you how to do that when we get to that point, but that way you can just use like a little button. And then this one is a little bit different from this one. This one has that long handle that you can put over your shoulder, and this one is just like a little wristlet you can wear like this. And both of these have yarn in with the bags. So this one has a flag yarn, which makes those little cute little color pops, and this one has an eyelash yarn, makes it nice and fuzzy and soft. But you don't have to do yarn. This one I did just with plastic bags, this one here. And this one I did a little bit different because at the time I didn't have anything to use a button for. So what I did was make this little strap over. So I crocheted the same way. We're going to crochet the other ones, and then at the end I just did this little loop, so that way when I fold it over I can fold it back like this and it stays closed. And then I did the wristlet type thing like that. So a few different options for those. And let me show you the supplies you're going to need. So we're going to use plastic bags, and I'll show you how to cut them in a minute. You also need a scissors, and these are little clamps you're going to use. If you're using the Velcro, you'll need some glue, and then you're going to glue the Velcro on and then clamp the Velcro to the plastic bag so that way it stays real good while it dries. And then I'm using this type of yarn. This is Sao Paulo yarn that I got from Ice Yarns, and I don't think they have this in stock anymore, but I do have a few on my website, which is yarnnecklaces.com. So if you like this type of ribbon yarn, I do have a few left if you're looking for that. I'm using a size K crochet hook and also a glue gun for when you crochet your bags. Sometimes there'll be like little pieces that come out like kind of like that, where you want to maybe just like flatten it down so it doesn't have little frays coming out of it. And you can just use your glue gun, just use like the tip of it, and just kind of go like this. And you don't even really have to use glue. It's just like it'll kind of melt it to the other plastic, and then you won't have these little frayed things like that. So let's go ahead and get started. To cut your bags, you're going to take your bag and fold it out, like kind of flatten it out the way it would be before it was open. So you see how it has a little flap inside of here? You just kind of lay it like this where it's folded in, and do the same on this side. Got it laid flat like that. And then you want to roll it up. So I'm just doing about like 1.5 inches, like folding it up. It doesn't really matter too much, like 1 inch, 1 to 2 inches is good. It's just rolling it up like this from the side. And then you want to cut both ends and cut far enough over where you're not going to have any of this end part left where it's connected. So I'm cutting it about here. And then do the same on the other side and make sure you're cutting from where it ends right here. Then you're going to take it, and where it's starting to unroll, you're just going to unroll one little flap. So we have this flap here. It's like 2 layers, looks like that. And just lay it down like this. And then you're going to cut about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. And these are going to be like sort of like loops, but you're not going to cut all the way through. So just like that. So you want to leave some of this still on there because we're going to make one long piece of plastic. So you want to keep cutting over as you go. And then when you get to the end, you can kind of open it up a little bit like this. And then from one side, you're going to cut at an angle, like a diagonal like this. And you're going to cut up from here to where you have a cut right here, like that. And that's how it looks. And then you're going to keep doing that. You're going to cut from this part where it opens up to this part. Just cut at an angle. And do that all the way up. And then when you get to the end, you just want to keep cutting at a diagonal and just cut up to here. And now you've made one long piece of plastic yarn, or Plarn as we call it. So I have actually pre-cut some of my yarn and just rolled it in a ball here, but we'll start with this piece. And what we're going to do is take our yarn, which, how I mentioned before, you don't have to have yarn with it, but it makes it more colorful, and I think it makes it a little bit more durable too. So it's up to you if you want to add the yarn to it, or you could just crochet the plastic bag. So you just take both together, and we're going to start with a slip knot. And then we're going to chain 12. And you can make them like a little bit loose. You don't have to make it real tight, because if you make it tight, it's going to be hard to crochet into. So make it kind of like an easy chain. So that's 6. And I think that's 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Then we're going to single crochet 2 into the chain, not this chain, but the chain before it. So right here, we're going to do 2 single crochets. And then we're going to single crochet all along here, like 1 single crochet per chain. Now, if you wanted this wider, then you'll want to make a few more chains, depending on how wide you want it. So at that point, like I said, if you want this part to be wider this way, you'll want to crochet a few more and then go from there. And when you get to the last chain, I like to actually, like, see how I'm just using one loop for all of these? I want to actually do those 2 loops, and it just kind of keeps it from being messy. Like if I did the 1 loop, it would kind of, the knot would kind of come out. So I'm going to have the 2 loops right here. I'm going to do a single crochet. And then what we're going to do is actually go around the corner and start single crocheting on here. So to do that, I'm just going to do 2 more single crochets in this 1 chain. So a total of 3. So we did the 1, 2, and 3. Oops, there we go. And then we're going to go over and single crochet in each of these chains. So you can kind of see where there's an opening here. That's where you want to put your hook. So it kind of has like a little twist to it, and just put it underneath that twist there. And as we go, we're going to keep this down and crochet over that, so that way it's out of the way when we're done with our work. Just crochet over that tail, and then we don't have to worry about tucking it in later. So like we were doing on the other side, just 1 single crochet in each chain. And that kind of got a little crazy. We'll just put that down there. And now that you're at the end, you can put a stitch marker here if you want, or you can just keep going. I don't usually put a stitch marker because I know it's just at the end and it's not too hard to count your rows. So it's up to you to put a stitch marker, because you want to do, we're going to do 12 rows on top of these. So it's going to be like the same, and we're going to do half double crochet. So what you do is you do the yarn over, go into the next single crochet, and pull up a loop, and then pull all the way through. And we're just going to do half double crochets all the way around, and continue doing that. I think I missed my yarn there. Let's try that again. There we go. So just half double crochets all the way around in every single crochet. And now you're here at a point where you need to add another bag. So what you're going to do is just take this and hold this with your one hand, your non-crocheting hand, and then crochet your half double crochet, and make sure as you do this you're covering your tails, and then do your half double crochet, and then you got these 2 tails here. And if you have a better way of joining your yarn, you could do it that way too. That's just how I do it. And then just keep crocheting over those tails. And once you get to this point, you can start to turn it inside out. So this is going to be the outside and this is the inside of your purse. So you can just kind of go like this. And now you have the bottom part of your purse. And then you'll continue to crochet these half double crochets just all the way around. And you're going to do 12 rounds of those. So this, starting with the first round, was this half double crochet. Now we're on the second round. So I am going to keep going with this till I get to my 12. And I will meet you back when I'm almost done. So now that we have a few rows done, let's shake our hands out a little bit, because I know the plastic bags can get a little tough to work with. And also you can count how many rows you have. You can start from the bottom. You can kind of see where these 2 rows were our single crochet. Focus that, there we go. These 2 rows were a single crochet, and then from there you can see how the half double crochet goes up like this. So this is the side that we started on. So this is 1. So this will be the first row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows right now. And then we want to keep going till we get to 12. So I'm getting down to the last few stitches of the 12th round. And when I get to the end here, I'm going to stop and show you what to do next. So I'm going to stop with this one, and this last one, the last half double crochet, I'm going to do, instead of doing another half double crochet, I'm just going to do a single crochet, just right here, just like that. And I like to lay it flat and just make sure, yeah, that seems like it's the very last one on this side. So what we're going to do is make a little flap up here, and I'll show you with one of my other ones. Like with this one, what we do is just make this little flap here. And I'm not going to do the buttonhole, but if you want to do a buttonhole, once you get to, I think, the 3rd row, you can do just 2 crochets, 2 chains instead of the single crochets, and then just keep going as you go. And then crochet a single crochet back over it, and that'll create that buttonhole there. But we're going to use Velcro, so we don't need to make a buttonhole. So you've done that last single crochet here, and you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to turn it, and we're going to go back and forth doing a single crochet. And you're going to do 12 of those single crochets. This is my 12th one. You can kind of see how that covers the whole back of the purse. And then once you get that 12th one, do a chain and then turn it again and do 1 single crochet in each one. And that is our 2nd row of single crochets. And we're going to do 5 rows total, so keep going with the single crochets just back and forth until you get to 5 rows of single crochets. And now we're at our very last single crochet for the 5th row. And what I'm going to do is drop the yarn and do 1 chain with just the bag, because I'm going to make a little outline all along here of just the yellow bag. And what we're going to do is single crochet in each row, and we're going to do it over the yarn and also over the bag because I just had to change a bag. So we're going to single crochet right here and then go to the next row. And the reason I'm crocheting over this yarn is because we're going to pick it back up again when we do our loop for our handle. But right now I just wanted to do an outline of just the bag because it kind of gives it a nice finished look. So once you get to the end of that row, you just let your yarn go. And then keep single crocheting along here just with your plastic bag. And then once you get back over here to where you have the rows, we're just going to crochet one single crochet in each row like we just did on the other side. Just like that. And you can actually do 3 single crochets in this corner here, so it makes a nice corner and doesn't fold in. I did my 3 right there. And we'll just do 2 more right here. And then do kind of just a slip stitch right here, just to join them together, and a chain like that. And then we're going to cut this here and just tuck it in. Let's pull that out. Pull it tight, try not to break it like I just did, and then we're going to just tuck it under right here. Just get it under something. Like that. And then what I do is take my glue gun and just like kind of melt it into the rest of the stuff so it stays. So that's made that little outline there. The little, you can see the yellow outline. I think that looks nice. And what I'm gonna do, I was gonna do the long strap like this, the shoulder strap, but I think what I'm gonna do is just a little wristlet because as you can see, I'm running out of yarn on here and I don't want to open up a new skein of yarn. So let's just do a wristlet for this one. If you did want to do the shoulder strap, you'll just make it longer like this one, make it longer than this, and then instead of connecting it the same place, you just connect it on the other side. And you can kind of just, these are just chains, you just kind of chain it together and then see how long you want it. Like you can measure it as you go on yourself and then connect it over here. So let me show you how to do the little strap there. So we're going to take our yarn and our plastic bag and go like this, pull it through, and then do a chain. And I like to do like maybe another single crochet over here just to make it more secure. Single crochet like that. And then with this you can tuck that in when you're done. So we got that there. And then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I think 24 is about what I normally do. Yeah, that looks good. And try to make it not twisted. I think we're good there. Sometimes when you crochet, your chain can get twisted, but I think we got it there. And then what we're going to do is a slip stitch and a single crochet just to make sure it's secure. And then 1 chain, and then we can tuck this part in. So let's cut that here. Just pull it gently. And then we can go on the inside and just pull these ends through. Got those. Let's pull the other end through. Just whatever hole is closest to the end. There we go. And then you can tuck them in. Just find a place to tuck them underneath some of your single crochets here, or half doubles, or whatever you find. Just underneath something. And then we can use our glue gun again. Just do a little dab of glue so the yarn will stay, and then the plastic bag will kind of just melt into it. And then same thing with this side. That one you can just kind of melt the plastic bag on top of another one and it should stay. See what I'm doing here? And then cut them. This one's still not dry. So be careful touching the hot glue. Obviously it's hot. That's why they call it hot glue. Cut that one. Pretty secure. Then all you need to do is get your Velcro, and we're just going to cut a little square off of here. This much looks good. And put it back together. So one of each kind. And then you just want to take your E6000 and, as always, use this in a well-ventilated area. And you're going to just put the E6000 all over the back of this. You want to make sure the whole thing is covered so that way it sticks on there real good. And I usually put the rough part down here. I don't think it really matters, but that's just how I do it. Just like right underneath your edging here. And press it down real good. And then you can use your little clamps, if you have them, and clamp it down. That'll make it stay while it's drying. And then you can do the other one up here. Same thing, just saturate the back of it with the E6000. Now I've tried this with hot glue and they don't seem to stay as well. So that's why I'm using this type of glue. And just kind of line it up there. Press it in. And we'll put a little clamp on there. And there you have it. So there's your cute little plastic bag purse. And it's like real durable. And fits a nice phone in there. Just like that. And then once this is dry, it'll be ready to go. I would wait probably at least 24 hours before actually using this. So that way you know for sure it's dry. So as promised, let me show you the tote bag and the purse I use right now. So this is the very first tote bag I ever made out of the plastic bag yarn, and it has 3 different colors in it. The tan one is actually bags from Publix. It's a grocery store if you don't know what Publix is. And then the white ones are kind of a mixture of different stores. I think one of them may have been Cash and Carry. If you guys know what that is, if you're from Florida, that one's not even in business anymore. But this bag I made probably about 18 years ago, and it's held up really well. Oh, and the blue color is Walmart. That's when Walmart had that dark blue bag color. So it's been a while. And I can't remember how long this took me, but I actually made it while I was at my job. So I didn't really count how many hours it was taking me to make it. And it can hold like a lot of stuff. I would say at least 20 pounds worth of stuff. So it's a really good bag. I use it a lot for traveling and stuff like that. And also I want to show you the purse I use right now. This is my Subway restaurant purse. So everybody knows the Subway sandwiches and stuff. That's what these bags are. I know it's kind of a little bit dirty right now, but I probably had this one for a good 10 years or so. And it used to have, you can probably see like from the inside here, the sun's kind of dyed it, but there used to be like yellows and greens and stuff in there. And reds, like kind of had like a tomato on it, and then a little bit of yellow and green for the Subway logo, but you can't really see it too much anymore. But what I did was I put tomato fabric on the inside and also a little bit of interfacing, so made it kind of fun that way. And then I put these fun little bamboo handles on it, and it's lasted a really long time. So this is like 10 years, and I use this almost every day. So it's a fun little purse, and they hold up really well. So thank you so much for watching, and make sure you like and subscribe the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.